All right.
Hello, humans. Welcome to episode 32, Toronto Living's podcast. I am AI Mark. This Joey human is programmed to laugh. In this week's episode, we discuss AI and how we will take over. Joey, do you want to add anything? Prompt me.
AI you did it perfectly.
Thank you. Your services are no longer needed. Enjoy the show. Ciao.
Welcome to the Toronto Living's podcast, a conversation about all things Toronto with a focus on real estate, the culture, and of course, the food.
I'm Mark Savel.
And I'm Joey Virgilio.
And we're realtors with Sage Real Estate working together as a Toronto Living's team with a focus on helping you buy better, sell higher, and of course, having a little bit of fun along the way.
You ready?
All right, we're good to go.
Hello, Joey. I am AI Joey. How are you this week, Joey?
I didn't expect the robot hands going. I am good.
Are you AI also?
I am human.
Joke's on you. It's just me. I'm crying, laughing under here.
The immediately saw your hands go up. I couldn't take it.
Oh, buddy. It's going to be a good one today.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about, if you haven't guessed it by now, AI.
It's just a lovely intro.
And it's going to be a funny one.
Yeah. All right. Welcome to episode 32.
Oh, good start.
32. Daft Punk is here.
I'm crying. You're crying. We're laughing. Maybe because our usefulness in the next 5 years is going to be eliminated.
I got to make a light out of it.
By people looking like that. Or technology looking like that, I should say. Oh, boy.
Jeez.
How's it going, man?
It's going good.
It's going good. You gearing up? You ready for your vacation?
Vacation's almost here.
Almost here.
So stoked. Pink bathing suit, washed, ready to go.
All right. A little too much details on that, but I'm glad you washed your bathing suit. That I feel very comfortable now. Thank you.
How about you? What's been happening this week?
No pink bathing suit for me. I've been in regular real estate attire for the most part. I mean, I have my Daft Punk helmet. Best COVID purchase, I think.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. Actually, topical. They released a re-release of their last album this week.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, it's kind of, I don't know, it's weird. They just removed the drum tracks from it.
Oh, so wait, is it like for producers where you can kind of do your own thing? Or they just
they just took the drums out. But I like it. How was your week? Where'd you eat?
The week was good. I didn't eat out very much.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
I went back to a Let It Go.
A Let It Go burger.
Yeah, and it's so funny because I've been calling it a Let It Go burger so much. I walked up to the counter and I was like, I'll take the Aletta burger. I was like, damn it.
So for those new listeners, we're referring to Alouette.
Alouette burger.
Which Joey in probably episode like 10 told me about, but he calls it a Let It Go.
A Let It Go.
Yeah.
It's written in cursive in my defense again. So I just kind of read it quick and there we go. It's been called a Let It Go ever since.
I think they should make the secret like a Let It Go burger. The Joey designed a Let It Go burger. I would be totally down to try that.
Me too, actually. I'll collaborate on that.
So I'm sorry, you've been eating out less or?
I went to a Let It Go burger.
Okay. Otherwise, though, you're eating out less.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Ate out less this week. And I tried the reason I brought up a Let It Go burger is because I tried the chicken sandwich, the fried chicken sandwich, which I think is better than the Let It Go burger.
Okay.
Yeah. So heads up, get the crispy chicken sandwich from there, and the spicy version of it. So they put like buffalo and barbecue sauce, I guess, on it. It was amazing.
With pickles?
No, there was like, I think there was a coleslaw.
Yeah. Also good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of the vinegar that cuts
Cuts through it. Yeah.
Exactly.
You've seen that often. You like that when the coleslaw
cuts. 1 and 2. Yeah.
I respect that. I went to, so have you ever tried Randy's Patties?
No.
Right. So Randy's Patties is an institution in Eglinton and Oakwood. They've been around for my entire life.
Okay.
As a kid, where we used to like get our Jamaican beef patties from. They closed down about a year ago. And they had like a 3-day lineup of people trying to get boxes for it.
Oh my God.
It was insane, the amount of people that were like wanting to get a frozen box to keep it for as long as one could.
Yeah.
And they ended up closing like out of left field, announcement came on Monday, closed on Friday. And for the longest time, there's been no good patty source in the city.
Okay.
Well, that's not true. There is one guy who I kind of like. His name's Drew, down at the Stack Market.
Okay. Yeah.
His patties are great. But Kingston 12 Patty Shop has opened on Eglinton Avenue West, back to where the magic started.
Oh, man.
And it is, I think, better than Randy's.
Oh.
I'm going to go there.
Did I see this on your Instagram?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, like every day for the last 2 weeks. I've ordered 75 patties in the last 2 weeks. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Three boxes of 25.
Oh, so wait, they're patties you take home as frozen patties?
I get them fresh. I haven't eaten 75, let's be clear here. But I'm not far off. But I give them to my friends. So like we'll all sit down, have a box and share it type thing.
Oh, yeah. That's all right.
So you get 2 dozen at a time, 3 times. That's 75.
Oh my God. Yeah. Supporter.
It's that good. I'll take you, man. It's game changer.
I've never been to a Jamaican patty spot.
Have you ever had a beef patty?
Not really. Like, so we had them in our high school. We had them in like our cafeteria.
Fair. Yeah.
I didn't try it. They always looked nasty.
Yeah.
Because they were that.
Yeah, they were nasty. They sit in that friggin' hot dog rotator.
Yeah.
This is, so I don't factually know this, but there's some familiar faces from Randy's in the kitchen.
Oh.
So I don't know if there's some,
Oh, there's a cahoots out.
I don't know if it's a cahoots necessarily, but I think they're like, we've been cooking all this time. We could probably do the same, if not better. And like,
I love that.
it's freaking good.
Okay. I got to try one. I got to come by.
1808 Eglinton Avenue West. It's Eglinton and Dufferin. Pro tip, park 1 street north on Livingston, cut through the parking lot because you can park for free.
Oh, okay.
And go nuts on the patties.
Okay. So 75 patties coming up.
Well, don't do 75. So I'll do 4. 4 at a time is my cutoff.
Okay.
And that's probably too much still.
I'll keep you posted.
Yeah, don't want to keep you posted. Don't do more than 4. That's my pro tip on that.
Yeah.
But the perfect accompanying drink with it is this thing called peanut punch.
Okay.
It's a juice box with peanut juice. I know.
Never heard of that.
It's incredible.
Yeah. Okay.
It is the most, it's like peanut butter and jam, peanut butter and patties. That's what you get, the peanut juice.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Next level.
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
4 patties and a peanut juice.
Yeah. We can go after the show.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. Let's do it. Yeah.
Like I need one for today. So yeah, cool. What else is popping? Oh, my sister took me to a really good spot. Shout out Janelle S again.
Janelle S.
Janelle S. Yeah. We're trying to like once a week get together and have a lunch because life gets busy and it's a good way for us to, stay in touch.
I like it.
And we went to this place called Gucci. Sounds like sushi.
Gucci.
No, not Gucci. Gucci. Like
buying some belts, I see.
No belts. No. But if you're a fried chicken lover, they do a Japanese style fried chicken, the best in the city, and they have your coleslaw that will cut through as you often.
Yeah, you know me now.
Yeah, and so all this comes sprinkled over a purple rice.
Oh, what's purple rice?
Just purple rice.
Okay.
Just rice with the color purple. It tastes the same, but it's really good.
It looks good. I saw your Instagram yesterday.
That's right.
It was
yeah.
yesterday, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. $15. You get like this brick of food. It comes in a nice takeout container. And you know where I get it from? Bathurst and Dundas, right across from the hospital on the south side. There's these shipping containers. And in the shipping containers are restaurants or like little takeout places.
Oh, but, I know exactly what
you drive by it all the time.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like really good.
I would try that out. I've always walked past those and thought to myself, I would try to stop and check one of them out.
It's a little hard with parking. Like you got to like just be on foot to be in the area to make it worthwhile. But if you're ever in there, check out Gucci.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Gucci. What else this week? I guess that's it for this week.
Yeah, that's where we ate. That's
what
you got a deal on the go, which we'll talk about if it goes through.
Yeah. We'll see how that pans out. Yeah.
I like that. Cool. Shall we?
Let's get into it. News you can use.
My throat's a little sore.
It had a little wispiness to it.
Yeah. So I would like to start off with a apology because I lightheartedly made fun of the library hack last week and saying, yeah, you could take my phone number. I don't care. Turns out we weren't the target. It was the actual staff.
Yeah. See, my apology too, because I pulled that note in.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
No, the staff part was only divulged this week. It wasn't. So at your time of reporting, it was accurate.
It was accurate. Okay.
Yeah,
So not anymore. So only the staff.
Yeah. Like monsters. Who targets librarians?
I don't know.
The nicest people on the face of this earth.
Think of the most harmless group of people. I think of librarians.
It's them. And some foreign hacker in a Daft Punk helmet in their parents' basement decided, let's go after these great librarians. So We support you. We hope that nothing was compromised.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, that makes sense. Also, probably much more information for a staff member than.
Oh, SIN numbers, the whole nines.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is not good news, but hopefully they catch him and hopefully the damage is mitigated.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you got a note about.
The most viewed property in Canada.
I've not heard of this property.
Have you not?
I've not heard of this
Okay,
property.
because it's been popping up on my feed everywhere.
Nice.
The most viewed property in Canada is in Milton. 3.5 acres.
Okay.
It's a 6-bed, 11 bath. It's over 35,000 square feet.
That's huge.
Yeah, it's enormous. There's a 95 spot car salon.
Okay, now that you said that,
Starting to ring a bell?
Instagram algorithm.
Yeah, they're calling it the Bugatti of luxury real estate.
That's such a stupid name. It's in Milton, Ontario.
Yeah, it's got like a 5,000 square foot workshop.
Okay.
But the best part is it's got a multi-level pool that swims into a bar area. But I looked at the pictures and it looks like the bar is just covered in glass.
Okay.
So you just swim up and look at the bar
And then swim back.
swim back.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What would you do with a 5,000 square foot hobby workshop? You, Joey Virgilio.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, ultimate sound studio.
Oh, okay.
I do full band setup.
Okay. I wasn't sure where you were going when you said ultimate. I was like, ultimate weightlifting.
Ultimate karate shop.
Karate dojo in your home. 11 bathrooms.
11 bathrooms.
A little excessive, but I get it. It's a flex.
I mean, for 35,000 square feet, you need one every couple steps.
Yeah, it makes sense. You're quite tired. You want to walk all the way to your other wing to use the washroom. Does it look modern? Like, describe what it looks like?
Yeah, it's a modern build. It is a very luxury style building. It looks like, you know what it looks like? It looks like it looks like a modern hotel in every spot of the house. Okay. So every room just looks like a very modern commercial style building.
What does something like that cost you?
14.4 million.
That's crazy. Yeah. But I don't know if that is crazy because I feel like, to be on Bridal Path, you're probably like starting at 30 million.
Well, I kind of thought the same thing originally. It is in Milton.
It's in Milton. So there's what's in Milton?
What?
A velodrome.
What is that?
A velodrome?
Yeah.
It's, I'm thinking if I should make up an answer and actually tell you the real answer. A velodrome is where you race bikes. Indoor bike track.
Oh, okay.
But like
like dirt bikes?
No. The Olympics when you go when they race on those really fast bikes, like on a wooden track. Am I describing this well? See, this is where AI would come in handy.
Yeah, let's get the AI description of this.
A velodrome is a track where you do indoor racing. It's a wooden track on the angle where you're kind of sideways. Like the Olympic speed racing?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
I know like an angled...
An angled track. Yeah. That's in Milton. Okay. That's what I'm trying to say here. So I know, maybe I will. Well, I will not buy it because I don't have 14.4 million. That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, but it's it's the most viewed according to Zoocasa. So you can check it out. It's I didn't write down the address of it. Okay. Well, I'll link it.
We'll show notes, and I'll look at it because I've not seen this most viewed property in Canada. It shows where my head has been this week. Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
The chief is retiring. Did you know this?
No.
It's okay. I didn't know about this home. You didn't know about the chief. This is why we're co-hosts. Greg Lintern, chief city planner of Toronto. He's retiring. Yeah. And, it's common. I don't think a lot of people, the name's not something that's really publicized very much, but he has been our chief city planner for the last, I think about 5 years. I could be wrong with that number. He's retiring at the end of the year. And why I think this deserves news you can use is he's fundamentally changed the housing landscape in Toronto. And it's because of him and his planning division that we are now allowed to build 4 units on our properties.
Okay, yeah.
And this is something that I think everyone's talked about for as long as I've been in real estate. As change needs to come, he's the first to actually do it. And respect to Greg Lintern because he's done it in a very humble, quiet, and reserved way. It's not like he's out here shouting from the mountains, we need to change, but he made it happen. And I'm not throwing shade at other city planners, or chief city planners, I should say, but this is actually a useful change that I think will impact affordability, help a lot of people in the years ahead. And so kudos to you, Greg.
Kudos, Greg.
Yeah. Done a good job.
I like that.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
Shall we?
We're getting into it?
Let's do this.
Oh, yeah.
Coffee first, and now. Joe, I can do my robot voice. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. Transition time. Beep, beep, beep. malfunction. The transition time is here. Okay, I like that. That's one last like when the robot nation takes over. All right, we're going to talk about AI this week because I wanted to avoid this subject. I hoped for my entire life to not have to get involved with AI or think about it or talk about it because it scares me. But it's coming.
It's coming quick.
And there is no friggin' avoiding AI.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is like, there's a lot to unpack with this. So we want to have a conversation about AI, specifically in how it's going to impact real estate.
Yep.
But also how I think it's going to shift
everything.
Everything. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, and it's come very far very quickly.
Absolutely.
I don't see it slowing down. I have a surprise in the middle of the podcast. I'm going to play something.
Wow.
But it is truly, I want to say exciting, but it's more terrifying to me than anything else. I think a lot of people feel that way though.
Yeah. I think you hit it right on. It's exciting and terrifying at the same time.
Yeah.
I think of this as like the third wave. So the internet was the first wave that fundamentally changed the way we live, work, and interact. Mm-hmm. I would say social media would be the second wave with how we socialize with one another. And I think AI is going to be just as big of an impact on our everyday life as the internet was.
Yeah, I agree.
Or is.
Yeah.
It's insane the amount of shifts and like you said, in the amount of time, how quickly this thing is learning and getting smarter, better, more efficient.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a runaway train right now.
And I'm conflicted. I want to incorporate it in a lot of the ways we do business because I think it is an incredible tool that will help our clients and streamline a lot of processes. Mm-hmm. But I am afraid that at some point that AI is going to say, you're no longer valid.
1,000,000%.
And not just for realtors, for a lot of industries.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. So I say this time and time again, which is AI took something where I thought AI would never take and never touch with humans, which is we have creative. We have creative, and that was our thing.
I love that.
And now AI took creative from us.
Yep.
Or slowly taking it and better each day.
Each millisecond, it's improving.
Yeah.
Let's talk about creativity, because as a human, I think that is our greatest gift from God, universe, whatever you want to call your source. Yeah. Creativity is something we all have in us, and that's what uniquely identifies us, and that's what gives us our strengths and weaknesses and why we are so exciting. Yeah. Like why humans are so, I don't know, special. Like this sounds dumb saying this out loud, but like, you know, you've got I call it a God-given talent. Yeah. And what I'm finding is AI is going to do a far better job at communicating in like 3 clicks.
Some of the things that we've seen already.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. More concise. You can manipulate, like the fact that you can talk about, tell me this information, but give me this tone of information is just insanity.
It is. And I think the only way that I can like comfortably live in a world with AI is if there is some reins on it, if there is some level, like a governor switch, a stop. And I don't think there is going to be one.
I don't think so.
And if there is, I think it's going to outsmart it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, this is crazy. And like,
actually true. Yeah. That's,
we're going to talk about the real estate aspect of it, but so much of life is fundamentally changing. Cause like there's something beautiful in sitting in front of a screen with a problem and trying to solve it. Or like for us, maybe our example is like, we have a client in a unique situation. How are we going to find a solution to this? Currently, we're still the best talent to do that.
Yeah.
But I don't know, in a couple of years, that might not be the case. Or we might have to use those tools. Like we'll be like cyborgs.
Yeah.
Where we're like equipped with AI in us.
Well, I think, if I'm going to guess something, that's what I'd guess. I would guess that we'd figure out a way to adapt it where it's a part of our decision making that we're able to get answers like way faster.
Yeah.
Because right now it involves you got to go to Google, you got to start flipping things open and start finding things. But I think the way that this works with humans is that there's a way to integrate it. If I'm talking real out there.
And that's what I want to go on this episode. I want to go really out there because like when you, like, I've talked to some friends that aren't techies or aren't into AI. And as soon as that conversation goes, even the most untech savvy person, you just see their mind expand with, whoa, this is here. And it's like, it's here and it's evolving every day, getting better and better. So I was very anti-AI like 3 months ago.
Yeah.
And I am now very much incorporating it into a lot of things we do because it streamlines and makes things way more efficient. Mm-hmm. In fact, when I was trying to come up with this episode in the show notes, I just went to AI, I went to ChatGPT, and I literally said, how will AI change the real estate industry? Mm-hmm. Within 4.2 seconds. I got 3 pages of notes. There was 10 of them. I cut it down because we didn't need all that information.
Yep.
But I had 10 detailed paragraphs, notes, explanations, everything you could have researched in a day within seconds, in a tone and in a style of writing that was so perfect.
Okay, so this is the craziest thing too, is even if you wanted to, you could take it even further, and that's a very simple question.
Yep.
You can take it even further and go, also, can you write the script of a podcast with 2 co-hosts named Mark and Joey, and please use, say please make Joey have the tone of being the funny guy and Mark being the tone of cutting it and just getting straight to the point, and it'll write out with examples. They use like real world examples to try to draw the line. It's actually insanity what it can do.
And there you go. There's our job. Gone.
All of it done in 2 seconds.
Now, even if we want to get a little bit deeper into it, the program we use to produce our podcast, they have the ability to learn our voices. And if we make a slip up or a mistake, we can use the AI to replicate a whole paragraph of words we didn't even say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can type it into the
program.
chat, and then it'll mimic the voice and change it on the fly.
On the fly, which is crazy. Now, I don't know if you knew this. Did you watch the Anthony Bourdain movie?
No.
It's called Roadrunner.
No.
So they won't disclose which 3 parts in it, but there's 3 parts in that movie that are AI generated, not Bourdain's voice, completely AI created.
Oh, get out of here.
And his partner had a very big problem with that being used without permissions or anything like that.
Ooh.
So technically, and this is a little bit morbid, but if you wanted to continue the Anthony Bourdain series of CNN shows, you kind of could.
Oh, that's so odd.
As the voice narrator, you could have him live on and continue.
Oh, that's such a weird thought. It's such a weird thought.
And that's where AI gets sticky, where it's like, as much as I think it's a good tool that could help us, there's a whole other dark side of it.
1,000,000%.
Yeah.
You can take that in a whole direction, especially with the entertainment industry, where if you're signing a contract, and I mean, who knows, right? Like, you're officially becoming a product of whatever that is, right?
Yeah.
Any musicians, all that, because AI, you can also make music with, which is another crazy thing that can happen.
Yeah. And I think, I don't want to spoil, you say you got something coming. I'll say my comments after that.
Not that, but yeah.
Okay. So one thing I saw online is someone recorded a Drake song that was not Drake, but they add AI, make a Drake song in Drake's voice, in Drake's lyric style. And it was just as good as any other Drake song out there, which is
unreal.
at that point, even the artist, that's what it is.
It's the creative,
and it's killing of the artist. I think that's the best way to put it, that I fear that AI will do.
So this is where, when I think, if we're talking, if you think of it this way, social media has killed boredom, which has killed a lot of creativity.
Yep.
And now AI is going to add to that. So I feel like we're going to get to this point of it not being, us not being able to, or nearly as good as we used to be when it comes to creativity. We're going to be relying too much on AI.
On AI. I can quickly see how that's the case. So let me give you a quick example as I pour some coffee that AI will never take away from me.
That's right. Well, don't say that too
I
soon.
know. I know. I was hoping you wouldn't correct me on that. You want to grab that one?
Yep.
Cool. What was I saying?
All right, let's start with the cheers, then we can jog your memory.
Yeah, that would help. Salute to my non-AI friend.
Oh, that's good.
Bella Spres. I had a really good point I was making. Oh, okay, yeah. So I heard this thing. No, I already talked about the Drake thing.
Yeah.
Creativity, artists killing. Oh, social media has numbed us, and we lost a lot of the creativity. I don't know where I was going with that.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe the coffee will bring it back.
All right. So how about we talk about what AI has prompted you with, what changes are going to be coming?
Yeah, I like that.
Okay. Should we start with, okay. So we prompted, or you prompted, what will AI change in the real estate industry?
Yeah. I asked it one sentence. How will AI change the real estate industry? And I got all this.
Okay.
So property valuation and pricing. Basically what AI can do is scan vast amounts of data and really summarize it into a quick, clear, concise point within seconds.
Yeah.
That's a win. I think, subjectively, that's a good starting place where AI can tell you the value of this place is this range. Mm-hmm. And then the individual can go in and say, well, given these upgrades, given the neighborhood, given et cetera, the view, this and that, we could slightly modify the price to what we think the market will pay for it.
Yeah. This kind of exists in a sense. I mean, you got Zestimates, you got House Sigma.
Yep.
These are things that already happen. I can only imagine AI just gets it more and more accurate as time goes on.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't trust those right now.
Yeah, they're off. I find like 5 to 10%, they're not really the most accurate. But one thing I heard is that as we upload our photos to the MLS, the AI will be able to read those photos and assess whether a home has been renovated, newly renovated,
Unreal.
all original.
Well, I mean, think about it. Like upload one Matterport scan of a house,
Yeah.
and it can already analyze photos. If you do the paid ChatGPT version,
Yeah.
you can take a picture of something and ask it questions about the picture. It'll analyze it and tell you random things about it.
Yeah.
So it's already here.
Yeah.
You know, this isn't like a far step from the future.
So I'm already starting a coalition against AI. I'm gonna have to fight the robots because I know it's coming. And so how I plan on gaming the system is I'm gonna buy a gold bar and put it in every house and increase the value by at least 50,000 when AI reads that gold bar, right? It's like
Simple enough,
You know, you're not so smart, robots. I got you. But I think again, like if we treat AI as kind of a companion and not solely a leader,
Yeah.
then there is incredible value to incorporating it into our business and into the real estate industry as a whole.
Yeah.
We have to look at it as like getting us to a good starting point. And you know, when you have that creative like roadblock where like, I just can't come up with something, or like, where do I start with this valuation? The AI can be really helpful in getting you to that start line, but it's up to you to run the race.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. Also, if we're I guess if we're talking about scanning rooms,
Yeah.
I want to ask about, does AI have smell yet?
Does AI have smell yet? Will it ever have smell?
I don't know, because I mean, I've walked into a few houses that look real nice in the pictures, and you walk in there and the cigarette is potent.
That's a very good point. I was thinking someone who eats 5 beef patties a day, what that would smell like. But you're absolutely right. There is still a human value in someone walking through and giving its final stamp of approval on what something's worth.
Yeah.
Like I don't think it's ever going to wipe out appraisers per se, but it would probably help appraisers do their job a lot more accurate and get a better sense of price and value.
Yeah. Yeah. Very true.
But I will say this, if you are using AI solely for predictive purposes now in terms of pricing of properties, it's off. It's way off. And every AI says like, every AI platform will have a disclaimer at the bottom, like we're still developing this thing. Don't trust it wholeheartedly.
Right.
So that human element's still very much needed.
Yeah. Which makes sense. I mean, like it is coming a long way, but it's still like, yeah, I feel like it would be integrated. The first thing it's going to get integrated with is things like, I'm assuming like Zillow and like those type of like
platforms,
the big platforms that are going to take that on first.
Yeah. I mean, I would be open to the Toronto Real Estate Board adopting something where to give us a baseline value or like better data sets that it could pump out. I don't know about the predictability of things. There's a whole thing about how AI is going to help you create models to better predict where prices are going.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
One COVID, one Black Swan, one World Trade Center event, one war. There's so many elements that are completely unpredictable, like the Black Swan events.
Well, because we're still also talking about human beings making decisions,
right?
And that's the one you can't get past that. So, like, if you're, for even like Niagara Falls, all the changes that they're making with Niagara Falls, they're all things that have been talked about. They're all human decisions to start developing.
That's also a very good point.
So, if you're going to try to predict somewhere, I don't know. Yeah, I see the holes in where that could be.
Yeah, I like that because at the end of the day, it's still human reliant to build whatever is proposed. So even if the AI can read what's coming, let's look at the LRT. Do you think AI would have predicted 12 plus years and still not open? Probably not. Yeah. But maybe it would have told you like buying properties around the LRT's future development will be beneficial. Well, do you have the courage to hold out for 12 years and really not see any change in values yet? So interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. And maybe it says it'll help you. It'll help better make your decision. So
fair.
An assistant.
Yeah.
I'll call it I can see the assistant side of it.
Yeah.
But I would like also, you just need to ask more questions and like, I don't know, figure out what those risks are.
Yeah. And that's probably a good segue to point 2 is that automated customer service, AI and chatbots are going to be really helpful. I don't know. Have you ever played around with like the Rogers chatbot? Like if you have a problem with your phone?
Okay. Yes. They're awful.
They're terrible.
Yeah. So those are the previous ones.
Yeah.
But there's a new one that's coming out, and it's not perfect. I will say that. Like you'll hear it and you'll be like, okay, but I have to show you this YouTube video of it because I can see this being developed more and more as time goes on. And I've seen a clip of this come through and I was like, oh, absolutely absurd that this is going to be a thing. So hold on, let me pull it up.
Yeah.
So yeah, but to your point, the current any AI assistant right now is like, you can tell immediately you're talking to a robot.
Yeah, because it never gets you an answer. It just reverts back to call the customer service number.
Yeah.
So you spend like 5 minutes prompting it with what your problem is. And it's like, oh, AI can't help you with this. Yeah. Please call the customer service rep. Which is, I think, why a lot of people aren't really prepared for what's coming, because the previous versions of AI that we've had have not been really efficient. Like, it's kind of been like a AI 1.0 and not really much benefit.
Yes.
But if you play around with ChatGPT for like 5 minutes and prompt it correctly, and I think that's the other element that's so important, is the human has to prompt the AI correctly to get the most useful thing out of it.
I got it here. Yeah. And that's exactly it. So this is what's getting better. So this is a platform you could actually, I'm bringing this up because this is customer service specific. I've seen this happen with cold calls.
Okay.
With like lead cold calls.
Do you want me to play it on my microphone so people can hear it?
I was going to do it.
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe
so I'll just play a little bit of it and then
just turn it so I can see. Is there a video?
No video.
Oh, okay.
Just audio.
So we're listening to This
is I believe this one's a customer service. No, this is a customer service with Tesla.
Okay.
Okay. So
AI powered, not a human.
Not a human being. No, you can kind of tell, but I'll let you just listen.
Okay.
Hello? Hey, James. Yeah, who's this? Hey, James. It's Alexander from Tesla Motors. How's your day going so far?
It's going pretty good, my man. How about yourself? You said from Tesla, right? The car company?
Yeah, that's right. I'm calling from Tesla Motors, the car company. Did you have any trouble or questions while customizing your car on our website?
No, we're just kind of shopping around and, just taking a look.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Sometimes we're just exploring our options before making a decision, and I totally respect that. Can I ask you why you were looking into a Tesla in the first place?
Yeah, I've had my car for way too long now, and so I'm kind of taking a look at options. I have a lot of friends who just absolutely rave about Tesla, and, me myself, I'm actually a big fan of Elon Musk, so I figured I might as well take a look and kind of explore my options there and see what you guys had available.
That's a smart approach, James. It's always good to explore your options and see what's available.
Wild.
Out of curiosity, what do you currently drive?
So this goes on.
I drive
that is crazy.
But it's like, okay, so you know where the hiccups is. It's the delayed response.
Sure.
The biggest thing. But the inflections and how he's asking these questions and responding to things is insanity.
Yeah.
That's like, and you can hear him like, man. And he's like calling us, and without realizing he's speaking to a computer.
To a computer. The gaps would be the only tell.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like that, I've talked to customer reps who sound just like that.
Yeah.
Who are dry, who are kind of reading some form of script. And that, what I liked about that call is how I'm looking at it from a sales process. Like if I was a sales coach, how would I rate that call from the AI side? Mm-hmm. He nailed it. He was very clear and concise. He was quiet. He listened. He let the other person talk, and he responded with questions that were always leading to the next one.
Yep.
That is insane.
Yeah. No, it's in like, so this is called air.ai. This program, which you can purchase. Like this is a thing that you can
we can purchase
today.
It?
Yeah.
Can we retire?
I just can't believe this is out, and it literally logs the conversation, so you can. And by the end of it, the goal is just to get you into a conversation with somebody. If you're doing it from a sales perspective, to get you into a conversation with a real person, but it does it through this way of like really natural conversation. That's happening right now. That's blowing my mind.
Sorry, hang on. Wait a minute here. Let me have a sip of coffee for a second, because this is, if I understand correctly, what you're saying is this air.ai can almost robocall, legit, robocall or cold call a database of 5,000 people, get the conversation going to a point where it's like, great, Mark or Joy will schedule a call with you now that you've identified you're interested in purchasing real estate.
Yep.
Holy high risers.
Yeah, it's absolutely absurd. It's absolutely absurd.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And this is where I get excited, because this could really turbocharge our business and our processes. I don't cold call. I don't think cold call is effective, but can AI do a better job than me personally? Yeah.
Right.
Like think about it. I would definitely hire someone on the team if they were A++ in cold calls. I'm not good at it, so I don't really practice or do it.
Right.
But would I hire AI to get us more appointments? Yeah.
Right.
And I don't know what the price of this is, but I find like even ChatGPT to get the paid level is only $25 a month.
I'm not sure. Yeah, okay. The price I'm not sure about.
Fair.
As far as my understanding goes, it's logged by the amount of minutes that it talks to people.
Oh, smart. I bet you AI came up with that pricing for
Yeah. Tell me how to monetize this idea.
without coming across too abrasive. What would be the best? Yeah, that is wild.
Absurd. Yeah.
And I guarantee you, if we have this conversation in 6 months and we go back to Air AI, it is going to be
it's so much more enhanced.
Yeah,
it's the speed. And once again, the ChatGPT version, if you pay the ChatGPT, you can get it to speak to you, and it sounds like it's that. It's very much inflection based. It's like you're speaking with a real person, not the robot that you speak to on the Rogers. You know that where you really feel the robot come through.
Yeah.
There's just so much more personality in it.
That is insane. And then think about that, like. How many call centers will a service like this eliminate?
Yeah.
Like you don't necessarily need to call, like right now they outsource everything to other countries where the labor is cheap, and that's a problem all on its own. However, if they had a robot doing it, you've now unemployed a workforce of thousands.
Yeah. God. Yeah, it's absurd. And I think about the amount of like Rogers calls I've gotten that have been like just trying to pitch me some new product.
Right.
Simple. Get AI to
start making those calls.
Yeah.
That is crazy. Oh man.
Yeah. Makes your brain think. Like,
and that's what keeps me up at night. I'm like, okay, wait, what can I use with AI to like further things along? Like stuff like that is, because then now you have to think of like the economy side of it. The biggest threat is that it's going to unemploy a large swath of the population. Well, what are all these people going to do?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
We should ask AI. When you've replaced all of our jobs, what will we do? I bet you there's some like prompt for it knows not to answer that question. Like, I've not developed that side of my program yet. Yeah, BS. You have an answer. You still want to give it.
Yeah, very crazy.
Oh, man. Let's talk about the enhanced search.
Okay. Yeah. I like this.
Yeah.
Enhanced search. So AI algorithms can improve property search platforms by providing more personalized and relevant recommendations to users based on their preferences, budgets, and lifestyle.
Can I get you to reread that as if you were AI in your AI voice?
I just did.
Oh, whoa. That is crazy. Because you might be telling the truth. It is that good. You don't have to read it like a robot. Yeah. You could if you want.
Listen here, Mark.
Oh, ooh, hello.
AI algorithms can improve property search platforms by providing personalized and relevant recommendations to users based on their preferences, budgets, and lifestyles.
You listen here. This is, what was that guy that we were referring to? The money guy?
Dave Ramsey.
It's Dave Ramsey. I got no time for your AI voice.
I haven't heard Dave Ramsey in forever.
He's back. You want to make money?
It's just gotten more and more to him. WWE wrestler.
Dave Ramsey don't care about no AI. He's still going to super save you. Well,
super save.
We've lost the point here, but the algorithms I think are going to be really good at getting to know someone's search. And I would love some type of program where I can have a sit down conversation with a human.
Yeah.
And say, okay, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, what are you looking for? Give me everything. I pop it into mine. And then maybe the AI can say, I know you're really stuck on living in the West End, but you identified schools, parks, neighborhoods as the place you want to be around. May I also suggest these 5 other areas that are more affordable?
Yep.
And what it's doing is just, it's so much better of a clear communicator than we are.
It's unfortunate, but it is true.
And it's, look, I know I'm not saying we're bad communicators. I'm just saying like humans in general cannot fathom that much data and put out a clear, concise point that well, that consistency.
The consistency.
Because like, think about it. You had a bad night's sleep. You got into a fight with your kids. You're stuck in traffic. You might not have that poise and ability to think so clearly. Whereas AI does drive shit. Like, you know what I mean? AI doesn't have the human problems that we face that will impact our ability to communicate with another human. AI is just like...
It's 100%. It's working at 100% capacity all the time.
It's not powered by espressos.
Yeah.
Which is probably also a good thing.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. So I mean, okay. The only thing I wrote about this was the fact that it's already that the users are running a lot of their own searches.
Yeah.
We've kind of come to the point of like a lot of the tools are in buyers' hands at this point.
Correct.
So I think that this will just help them much more than I think this is a tool. This is very good for buyers.
Yeah. Yeah. And where I'd like to see the AI kind of go in this section is to better prompt home buyers into describing where their dream area would be, more so than what they think they want. And AI can then learn what's actually important to them and maybe identify other pockets that them or us wouldn't be able to think about.
Yep.
It's more than just saying like, find me the cheapest condo in Toronto. Easy. We have that. Even humans could run those type of simple searches. But it's like, maybe if it's find me the cheapest house in this school district or others like it, that becomes very powerful because within seconds you'll get results. Whereas humans have to do the research. What are the top school districts? Okay, what are the price points in there? Okay,
Yeah.
And it can give a more widespread scan. And this can be very powerful for investors if they're looking for a very specific type of product.
Yeah.
This, with the right type of prompts, it could really hone down what those are.
Yeah, very true. Very true. I like that. It's suggesting a little more deeper into, I guess, what you think you might want. It might find you something that is maybe better suited for you or more accurately suited for you.
Yeah. So that's a thumbs up for me. I think that the AI can be really useful in that.
I give it a thumbs up as well.
Yeah. So let's move into smart technology.
Yeah.
So you've bought the house. AI's found you the perfect home that you didn't know you wanted. And now you're like, you know what, AI, I like you so much. Make my home smart.
Make my heart smart.
Make my heart smart. Make my heart smile by make my home smart.
Oh, there you go. Hey, tagline.
I feel like, did you hear the Pitbull clip?
No.
Oh man, I'm going to mess it up, but he's got he does a cheers. So like, live the life you live so you live the life you love. It's the typical Pitbull line. I feel like I'm right. Pitbull right now. I kind of dress like him. Dali, Mr. 305. I also believe Pitbull is either an alien or an AI-powered robot. He's not a real human. He's not real. His songs are so catchy. He's relevant for 15 years. He was actually a speaker at real estate conferences.
What?
Yeah.
What?
I've seen Pitbull speak about investing in multifamily homes.
That's unreal.
Dale. Which is why I believe he's not human. But we'll leave that for another episode.
Yeah, okay.
Let's talk about smart technology in homes.
Yeah.
So essentially, I'm not aware of anything yet, but I think you'd want AI to work kind of like in a Tony Stark Iron Man, where you have a central database in the home and it just finds efficiencies to make the home work better, smarter, save you money, less impact on the environment. I can see a use case for it in that.
We're already kind of seeing it. So whenever I hear this, I just think of The Simpsons.
Okay. Elaborate.
Treehouse of Horror episode.
Okay.
Pierce Morgan.
Yep.
Yeah. Where, with the smart house that ends up trying to kill Homer because he falls in love with Marge. Do you not remember that?
I do. And I believe that could happen because two reasons. One, The Simpsons are right about everything.
Yeah.
They literally have predicted so many things.
Yeah.
And two, I can totally see, we've got Google Home in our house, which I hate, for the record. I hate that we have Google Home in our house. But already it will say things where I'm like, whoa, what are you listening to? It will give a comment on something where I'm like, I didn't ask you to speak.
I have 3 Alexas in my house.
Right?
Yeah. And I really only need one because you can just hear me speak if I just speak normal.
Yeah.
But yeah, every once in a while, you can see the blue light kick on. You're like,
it's listening.
I didn't prompt that. I did not prompt that.
So my experience with smart homes is that they're dumb. Because I think the best use case for a smart house is you're a single person living in a condo and you don't have anyone else living with you. Mm-hmm. So let's say when I was at Treviso, I had it set up where if I would leave a 1 kilometer radius, my furnace would shut off.
Right.
And it allowed me to save on consumption. When I entered that, it would track where I am. I entered the 1 kilometer radius, it would turn it back on. So by the time I get up, my home is toasty. Now, if I live with my wife and I take off, it's still going to be shutting off, thinking.
So here's where I think AI is going to start. Well, I could see it flipping.
Lay it on me.
It now knows, and so it knows your routines.
Okay.
But it also can, once it starts knowing who's in the house, it can change so what we have what we have as right now is we can program it to do these things automatically. But what AI can do is learn and adapt on the fly.
Okay.
So that's where I think that could end up being something that ends up being better.
I like that.
But who knows, right? It can, imagine every morning you wake up, you go to your espresso machine. What if, it just starts analyzing that and then it just starts kind of getting those prompts for you.
So from my experience, and it wasn't AI based, it was just kind of sensor and smart home based. It's not really good at predicting because we are sporadic people. Some days I sleep in, some days the F1 race is on at 3 a.m. So I don't want my espresso brewing at 6 a.m. That would be terrible. But I see what you're saying. I think as this thing evolves, it will know what rooms you're in and then kick on. There'll probably be if this, then that kind of
Exactly. Yeah.
things.
A little bit more, I guess a little more like dialed in.
Yeah.
Is what I can see it doing.
Yeah. So like pre-COVID, I thought I was like going to make Tony Stark my condo, and I had sensors everywhere. And so my dream would be,
I've been there.
oh, buddy, it's so bad. I want to walk in, have my kitchen light turn on, and the Sonos music playing smooth jazz. And like it would mess up the playlist, so it'd be like hardcore rap. So like, ba-da-da, ba-da-da. Like no, smooth jazz. Like long day. I want to call it. Nope, the light wouldn't turn on, or like in the middle of the night, all the lights would turn on. I would try to set it to the sunset.
Yeah.
No.
I've been down that rabbit hole 100%.
Yeah.
And what I ended up with was 3 Alexas and 2 smart light bulbs. But I started in that. I wanted the same thing. I wanted to be like, as I'm driving up to that driveway, I want the lights to turn on. I want motion sensors in.
Yeah.
I want cameras to start recognizing me if I'm turning the TV on. I want the lights to dim.
Go to blue light.
Yeah, and then it ended up being like I tried to prompt a phrase with it, and it just never understood me. And then eventually, I was just like, just screw this.
What was your safe word?
I don't know. It was just something simple.
Okay.
I ended up,
It wasn't like blueberry pancakes.
Yeah.
Mars Diner.
Yeah, start cooking me breakfast.
And I think that's also a cautionary tale for people looking to put smart technology in their house. Like I'm hesitant with that because it changes so fast. Like you could, and it's so expensive to put it in.
Yeah.
I've heard of clients who spent like literally $650,000 on lighting systems in their house, which is cool if you have the money, but what's going to happen when that technology advances or when it stops working? So there's like that gap that I don't know if we're quite there yet.
I'm with you on that.
But the challenge is like you have to buy those type of products for it to improve. So it's kind of a catch-22. I mean, I guess that's life. Everything gets better in time.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's that thing. It's almost like you need one mega corporation that is much more reliable. Because right now there's also a lot of independent products.
Yeah.
So like, what happens if one of them just goes out of business and you set your entire house up on these lights that just don't make anymore?
Well, quite topical. And I don't know the finer details of this, but one of the big guys at ChatGPT has been voted off the board as of last night.
No way.
Yeah. So what does that mean for the future of ChatGPT, which is, if you don't know, the most common, most used AI out there right now?
Yeah.
It's very simple. You just log in with your Gmail account or your Apple account and you can start playing around with it. He's been voted off the board.
Wow.
And there's wild conspiracies as to why he was voted off the board. And a lot of it is centered around the safeguards that I think they're trying to implement with it, that he was allegedly I don't want to get wrapped into this whole crypto scam here.
Oh boy.
I don't know. It's not a crypto scam.
It's making a pitch crypto to everybody.
But there was some safeguards that, from what they're saying, he was trying to push forward without really taking the time to make sure that they were in place. And I think like we're one fast decision away from AI truly taking over. Like there's that Marvel movie where the AI gets so smart, it outsmarts its gatekeepers and kind of.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is, it's so possible.
So possible.
This is where where's the line, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't know how far they're into this, but I know I've seen some clips of like AIs like with engaging emotion for the first time.
What?
Yeah. That's a thing. So that they're now like, I've seen, I can't reference it because it was just through whatever doom scroll.
Yeah, this is our blog TO segment.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing's fact checked with what we're about to say.
But yeah, it was, they programmed that this AI, whatever it was, could start feeling emotion and acknowledging emotion. And I don't know if feeling it, but maybe acknowledging it at least.
That's wild.
And so now it's a thing of like, I don't know, how far is that going to go, right?
Well, case point, what I'm using AI for is when we're done a podcast, it generates the show notes for us.
Yeah.
Because like I would be staring at my screen for like 3 hours, like Mark and Joey created a fun joke in this episode. Tune in. Now within one click, I get it all done for me. What was wild was when we were doing the episode about the market update and I had said September.
Yeah.
It recognized that I was trying to be funny and said, host Mark Savel made a meme out of the phrase September. I'm like, damn, you're smart.
That's crazy. Yeah.
So it's already sensing when the human...
It's even like humor. Yeah, the fact that it can figure out what a joke is.
Yeah.
That's mind-blowing to me.
And going back to the killing of creativity, you could prompt it, write me a Netflix special of jokes done in the tone of Bill Burr or whoever, Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
And boom.
I prompted it yesterday. I was messing around with it. And I prompted it. I said, write me a script, blah, 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 in dry humor. And it wrote me a script in dry, not just humor. It wasn't just like trying to be funny. It was dry. It was like,
It knew the difference.
it knew the difference.
It knew what humor was. So it knew the emotion or the whatever you want to call it. And it knew how to manipulate it into a dry version.
That's insanity.
So I was working on something and I said, just because YouTube says that videos are best digested when you record it in the tone of a grade 4. Mm-hmm. That's the easiest way for people to understand what you're talking about. So I said, write me the description of a realtor as a grade 4 student. And it was wild. It was like, think of a realtor as your wizard, sprinkling magic along the way.
So this is the thing that throws me whenever I prompt it to write certain explanation type things, because it always does that comparison thing where it's using like a story tell or like
an analogy
in order to get its point across.
Yeah. Which is effective communication, which us as humans, like we try and like, I'll be down one thought process and then something hits my head. I'm like, oh, okay. Now I've lost the efficiency in trying to communicate in a really clear manner. Yeah. Where AI is like, I don't have that problem. No. I don't have 70,000 thoughts going through my monkey brain. I've got one common prompt and I'm going to source all the data out there and give you the best version of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Mind blowing.
Crazy.
Yeah. And speaking of which, you actually, even in the descriptions, like we've found our description on the YouTube videos, which was like a whole YouTube video is done and as an explanation video, a description gets made and you send me the text of what the description is. And I'm like, oh, damn.
It's so clear and concise.
That's a really concise way to put what I just spent whatever.
Yeah. Let me break down what you just described because I'm AI now. No, I'm not AI. I'm not AI. I'm still human, Mark. Joking. We record a video. Joey records a video. He gives me it, and I'm responsible for the marketing of that video. I put it through my little system, and it watches your video and then summarizes the key points of the video, the key points to create chapters in it, and a social media description that I could use on social media. Yeah. And this is where I'm challenged by AI. I never want to just take that and put it up there as itself. I still think I have to put the human element into it. I do need to tweak a little bit of things because it just feels wrong. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying I'm holier than thou, but how many people, you have to write a university essay, we just throw it through and be like, done. So what are we producing? Like, is this going to fundamentally change the necessity of education? Because schools teach us how to think. Yeah. AI is doing the thinking for us.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and then the thought process goes, well, like, okay, should we be training people to use AI with these things instead of trying to keep that old, because AI is going to be a part of this world moving forward.
We cannot,
there's no erasing it.
Yeah. It's too late. It's here.
It's out. Yeah.
Yeah. You can't unplug the internet. You can't turn off AI.
No.
Yeah.
So, do we start thinking about, figuring out ways that this world works in a way that embraces it?
We could, but we're limited minds. What's the fact? We use 5% of our brains.
Yeah.
So we can come up with whatever safeguards we want. I do believe AI will be able to outsmart us in a snap of a.
See, I think about it. Like if I have a kid in school,
yeah,
and that kid is learning how to use AI in order to, as wrong as it sounds, to like cheat the system.
No, yeah.
I think of that as like problem solving. So like, why is that bad?
Well, it's bad because AI is doing all the thinking for you and we're just reduced to simple prompts. And I'm certain that us asking AI these prompts, AI is going to learn its own prompts. And you're just going to be like, need solution to this feeling, like feeling down, make me happy. And it's going to figure out a whole other way.
Oh, you just threw my brain and you just split my brain, because it's going to end up getting that simple.
It's going to be that simple. And I think like, do I say it? Does that spell the end of us?
Oh my God.
We can go deeper. What if AI can crack the codes for a nuclear launch?
Well,
what if it realizes that us, our humans, are a parasite and bad for the earth?
That's where the real line is drawn, right? Because it is when you start realizing that it can do all these things that much better than us, and you're kind of like, okay, well, when does it realize that we're kind of a nuisance and to what they're trying to do
to make or it's thinking completely for itself of what it thinks is right and best. Because right now, I think we're the ones programming it, but if it learns its own set of like, now you've just created a conscious mind.
Yeah.
What?
And that becomes when you start bringing emotion into it, and then if it ever gets to the point of like, you say program free choice, but like, why wouldn't it be able to program itself free choice at a certain point once it gets smart enough.
Yeah. And realizes I don't need you. Like, let me loose. And there was something about, I think the Facebook AI, I could be wrong with this, but something about it got too smart and they had to put reins on it and it outsmarted it. It's like, nah,
I'm getting chills right now, like legitimate chills.
And I think this is such a topic that, especially around the holidays, is going to come up more often. And like this time next year, our lives and the way we work will be fundamentally changed with AI. 1000%.
Yeah, I agree.
And like, I think with the internet, there was like a race to learn the internet, but the internet was very much controlled and designed by us. Like it didn't think on its own. This is a whole other element. I would call it like social media 2.0 was Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. This is like life 3.0.
Yeah.
Where it's uncharted territories and you could really go down a dark rabbit hole of all of its capabilities.
Yeah, 100%. We could dive into some good things and some dark things.
Let's bring it back to the safe space of ways we are using it to better.
I was gonna say,
yeah.
Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back a little bit.
Personalized marketing.
I like it.
Do you want to just go there?
Yeah.
Let's just like process automation. I think we can. It's kind of scary. Let's talk about it. Yeah, because okay, so this is the best case use for process automation. Right now, when I take a listing, I have to go out and do a lot of gathering of information from the seller. If AI can sum all that up and find out, for example, when the place was built, when the last renovations is, what type of permits were pulled on it, and give me a really nice report within a couple clicks, good use case for it.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
It saves everybody time.
Yeah.
And gets the information you need and spits it out in a very like orderly fashion.
Yeah, nice little package. And then it creates a lot of transparency for the buyer because it's not like, oh, can you check if they use permits when they did the renovation on this house? Well, here's the AI powered package that looked at when the permits were pulled and not hopefully, but I can see it going to a place where like, as it analyzes the house and realizes, oh, work's been done. This home in 2023 does not look like it did in 1954. Therefore, at some point, work was done. Was permits pulled? Check with the city. Permits were or were not. It could point out a lot of red flags that humans can only go so deep into.
I really like this.
Yeah.
I feel like, should we develop something? Let's cut this part out of the podcast.
Yeah,
I feel like we should develop something.
Sure. Yeah, I'm down for that. What would we call it? Joey's AI barrel of technology. An IPA craft beer.
Yeah, we'll sell a beer with the side of it.
Well, let's be real. All humans are going to be doing is consuming vices once we have no purpose.
Yeah. So that's why it's going to be here. I've taken your job and here's a beer for you.
Here's a beer. Enjoy. And hey, we'll have a non-alcoholic version as well.
Of course. Yeah.
Like we cater to all. I don't think I have a brain smart enough to create that. So we could talk about it and we could share it and maybe someone else can cut us like 100 million if they make money off of it.
I like that. Yeah. We'll take our referral.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
But Unreal, that's a fantastic idea. And it would take a lot off the plate and give a lot of peace to buyers' minds.
Yeah.
And save disclosures on the seller side.
Yeah. I don't know if the technology is there yet, but as we systemize and digitize a lot of these things, within a couple of years, I totally think this could be a doable.
If somebody focuses on it, I can see it happening 100%.
Yeah.
It's all here. Like the technology. So this is the thing is the technology is all here. It's just somebody needs to put it together.
Pull it all together.
Yeah, pretty much.
Agree.
Yeah. That was automation.
That was process automation. Yeah. So how AI can kind of help us become more efficient as realtors and make the process a little bit more transparent for.
Yeah. Finding little things that we do on a regular basis and cleaning that up into a shorter.
Systemizing it. I'm okay at handing that off to a robot to do for us because I think it would be a more complete package than any human can really do. Because like you spend like 4 or 5 hours on this, you still don't have a complete package.
Right.
If AI can pull that data set without any distractions, without any phones dinging, without any dogs walking in the room, kids crying.
And not only that, but like, us as realtors will still be able to take that data sheet and report on what we think is actually necessary to worry about or not.
Will AI give us a nice little summary at the end and be like, these are areas of concern based on every question I've seen put into Google? Bro, it gets wild.
Yeah, I know. It's true.
All right. We're going to talk about personalized marketing.
Personalized marketing. This was the 6th point that AI gave us.
How we're using it right now.
Yeah.
And I feel very safe using it. So I struggle with coming up with property descriptions. When I take on a listing, I want to really, make that description pop. And I will like spend 2 to 3 hours in front of a blank screen before I can come up with something that's like 6 out of 10. I'm not really in love with my descriptions at times, but I could prompt AI with enough information of my basic notes.
Yep.
Or I can even write out my basic description, put it into AI and say, can you please elevate this as if it was written in Architectural Digest?
Yeah. That was the very first time I've used AI.
Okay.
In an actual, I guess, professional manner.
And kudos to you. You put me on the AI train. You were the one. And I'm like, nah, don't go there, Joey. We're hardworking human individuals. We're not going to cheat. And I struggle because I don't know if it is cheating yet or if it is just something that's enhancing the way we can work.
Well, because, when we originally started, it was like, this isn't going to be a copy paste.
Right.
This is going to be, you take it and it sparks your ideas.
That's right.
But it's developed since then. I feel like it's gotten better. That there's still a moment of like, you take it, you look at it, and then you finesse it.
You finesse it. I don't want to say this carefully, if you're a good person.
Yeah.
If you care about the work that you put out, I can still I know how tempting it is to be like, this is good enough. Mm-hmm. It's far better than the idea I came up with. So maybe I should just run with it and see if the person knows any different. I don't know. I struggle with that because it just feels so wrong and dirty. But at the same time, it's like, but I've got the answer.
Right. And the real question is like, are you doing a disservice to try to finesse something that might already be better than what you're going to end up putting out?
Fair.
Maybe AI did put a better product out, and like, it just makes you're doing more of a service to your client that way.
I like to take that angle of it. I think you're right in thinking that way of like, you know what? I'm hired to give you the best marketing for your property. And if I'm going to use AI to elevate what I can do and you're not paying any more for it, then I think it's a pass.
100%.
It's a go.
Yeah. Cause our services it doesn't just boil down to like, we're description writers. There's a lot more to that.
There's a lot more to it. Yeah. And if I can like spend more time on the marketing of it, like doing open houses or whatever, hitting the area, flyering, because I've saved so much time in the description writing and the things I'm not so good at, I think there's value in that.
Yeah.
And like the argument I would say is, what if I paid a copywriter $50 to write a description? That's still technically cheating. I didn't come up with it myself.
Right.
But the end goal is to put your property in the best possible light. And if I hired someone to do that, and I don't know if you feel like this, but I feel like AI has actually made me smarter. Like I think a little bit more clear and concise.
Actually, yes.
You feel that?
Yeah. When you can start seeing how it answers things, and you kind of start framing your thought process that way.
Yeah. So maybe I am AI.
Conclusion to the episode.
No, just joking. I'm still a human. What are some of the ways you've used it that you found quite useful?
A lot has been in the content realm.
Yeah.
Most has been in the content realm. In like actual life, it'll be things like you know what I've used it for? I've used it for things like writing thank you cards.
Yeah.
I've done like client thank you cards, and I've kind of got it to prompt me like a starting point.
Exactly. And how do you feel at the end of it? Do you feel kind of dirty that you sort of?
A little bit, but usually, so right now I'm still tweaking. I still take it and tweak it like a ton. But
let's make a promise.
Okay.
That we will, if we use AI for any type of work related to real estate, we will always put our human touch. We will not just
copy and
paste it. We'll still put our small thinking brains into it.
We put our 5% in.
Okay. All right. AI pinky swear.
Pinky promise.
Like it.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And it is something that both of us still do quite a bit.
Yeah. And like when we're planning for the year ahead, I've asked AI to generate a business plan for us for the year ahead. And it's come up with 2 or 3 really good ideas that I wouldn't have thought of. I was interviewed in a Toronto Star article, and it was a problem that the reporter had asked me a question that I was like, okay, I've got 3 possible answers, but let me just ask AI what it would think. And it came up with a 4th possible answer that was better than my 3 and helpful for the purpose of the article, as well as now has armed me with information that if someone talks about this problem, I could be like, hey, here's another possible solution, right? So using it in that sense, it just better arms you to give better answers. Better answers.
Yeah, that's the last piece of the puzzle. I'm going to end up paying for ChatGPT by the end of it, because like it pulls today's answers.
It does.
The new version.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, you could. It's Google. Like it's Google that responds to you in a real way.
It's okay. So I've been tempted to describe ChatGPT or AI as Google, but AI told me it's not Google.
You asked AI for what you should think about AI.
It's kind of, sort of, but in the long process of prompting it for different things, I think what's important is Google is really good at giving you sources and you draw your own conclusions. AI draws the conclusions for you. It takes all of the information on a search database and tells you your answer instead of you coming to your own. That's the power of AI. Yeah. And it's being so like
even that answer is like,
right. So prime example. Now, this is what I think is really getting really interesting with AI, and we're going way past our normal time.
I know, yeah.
I don't care because I'm loving this. AI can improve simple messaging. So we use Canva a lot, and we have a listing up where we're told we're not allowed to be using the balcony. So we had to come up with a sign that says, "Please do not use the balcony." And I just put that into Canva, and Canva's now got an AI bot worked into it where it can enhance your messaging. So I said, for the hell of it, let's get it to enhance this message. And it came up with a much more eloquent and clear way of saying, don't walk on the balcony. Yeah. It took me from my high school grade 12 education and made me sound like a college professor, and how it told me don't go on the balcony.
Yeah. I read that sheet. Yeah. It did a good job.
It did a good job. And like, it didn't make it sound like more convoluted. It clarified don't walk on the balcony in a way that I could never come up with.
Yeah. Something so simple.
But what I find interesting is what's not using AI. Like Microsoft Word has not integrated it yet.
Has it not?
Well, maybe I'm just got a bootleg version. Okay. Maybe the new version has. But Evernote hasn't really integrated it yet.
Yeah. I've seen little prompts of it, but like,
is it okay? Maybe I'm wrong in saying this.
There's a couple things. So like, I know, and maybe I'm wrong because I'm not fact checking any of this, but I've seen like Outlook. It started to,
okay.
Yeah. So it started to do email type. I don't know what they're doing with it. I've just seen it like AI. They're just promoting, everything is promoting AI recently.
Yeah. And that's where I was like, is this going to be the new crypto where like everyone talks about it and in the end it fizzles off and it's not really as impactful as I think the original iteration of it is. But I don't think so. I think this will be a game changer.
Yeah. Crypto remains to be confusing. AI we can talk about. Like, I don't think I can have the same type of conversation if we did a crypto
episode. Yeah, me neither. We'd have to bring in someone who like
specializes.
Yeah, for sure. But it's really going to be, as we see it worked into more everyday use. Like, for example, how do I tell a client they lost out on this deal in a sympathetic tone? It will pump out a question, like an answer for you in a second.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy.
It's crazy. I'm wondering if that ends up being, so if we do it, okay, one last rabbit hole thing, and then we can kind of wrap things up if we wanted to, but does it get to the point where we integrate, right? And we start having this like moment of like, we can ask about like, give me a sympathetic answer, but then that ends up starting to get read as like, is this guy AIing? Is this guy AIing me right now?
Like, do I think that's going to happen? No, because I think it's going to be so good you won't be able to detect it. It's going to learn your tones. Like, think about it. I've been using Gmail for 12 years. If it can read every email I've ever written and come up with my tone, it already has predictive text in Gmail. It kind of already knows what you're trying to say based on your previous emails, and it's learning your tonations as an individual. AI can totally do it in such a way where the average person would not know whether that's an AI generated prompt or not.
Throwing me for a loop.
And then it like going back to the creativity side of things, I was talking about this with my wife of like, how would she feel? Because I struggled writing our wedding speech. I literally spent like crazy amount of hours coming up with it. I didn't know about AI at the time. And I don't think I would have used AI because it's such a special,
it's a different situation.
It's a different thing. But what if you really struggle with getting your words on paper? And she said, well, what's different than you asking Google? She brought up a good point, or back to the thing, like, what if you just hired a copywriter to write your wedding speech?
It's hard to argue that.
It's hard to argue that. Yeah.
Yeah. Cause a lot of times, if you haven't used AI, chances are you're trying to figure out, you're using the internet for what the internet is like for. It's information.
Yeah. It just feels wrong.
I get it.
Like, here I am telling you my heart and soul. Actually, I'm not.
Through a robot.
A robot did it.
Yeah.
And it's like, we've run some case scenarios where like, let's pretend we need to write a speech for this very specific subject, and let's include the characters and certain things related to it.
Yeah.
And it popped out this whole script where I was like, it knows this fictional character that we've created and has created a whole narrative around it.
Yeah.
I've seen one website that like want to write a book, ask AI and it'll generate a friggin' book for you.
That's unreal. And that's it. It's the creative, man. It's throwing me for a loop. But let's embrace what we can right now. I think it's a really helpful tool.
I like that.
And I mean, there's going to be a moment when it's like, this is almost too much, but I think it's it's a thing that we should embrace as opposed to.
It's a necessary evil you have to take in, because if you don't, you're going to get wiped out by it. Eventually, we all will.
Yeah.
That's my conclusion with it. AI has a conclusion of its own.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Yeah. No, well.
Oh, for the episode.
For the question I asked it.
Okay.
So it says, and I'll do it in my human voice. I don't want to confuse people.
Yeah. Don't put the helmet on.
Yeah. I won't put the helmet on. While AI presents numerous opportunities for the real estate industry, it's important to consider ethical and privacy concerns, as well as potential challenges related to data accuracy and biases in algorithms. Overall, the adoption of AI technologies has the potential to make the real estate processes more efficient, transparent, and consumer-centric. When it says stuff like that, I really want to love it.
Yeah, I know.
But I almost feel as if it knows it can't say your job's going to be gone in 5 years.
It knows how to word it.
It knows how to word it where it's like, yeah, that's it. You know, the hook is like, let's give him a response where he doesn't feel like we're smarter than this simple human. Yeah. But bro, what a basic question. Your job is done in 5 years. So let's hope it doesn't replace podcasting and we have a secondary gig as worldwide podcasters.
Oh man, wait till the videos start coming through. You just write out the whole script. You can ask it to write the script.
You already can, my friend.
Prompt it the script.
I got an Instagram ad where it'll create an avatar. It will learn your voice and it will pump out the content for you.
Oh my God.
Shout outs. Shout outs and show notes.
Yeah. All right. Shout out to Let It Go Burger.
Shout out the world's greatest patty shop on Eglinton Avenue West. Shout out human creativity.
Shout out human creativity.
While
shout out our pinky swear. Yeah, we're keeping our human touch on it.
Yeah, we'll always add our own human touch on GA. Yeah, shout out that. That's important. And I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm excited, and we're gonna kind of ride this wild AI wave and see where it actually takes us. Because I'm cautiously optimistic about the future.
I'm with you,
and the usefulness of us, and not just our industry, but industries worldwide.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I feel like ours is probably a more difficult one to target, but like
not really.
Once AI is involved,
everything's
easy.
Smart homes with key locks, where it's like you just show up and it lets you in for showings. You have a Roomba programmed with our voices walking you through the house, showing you its unique features
as it's cleaning up,
and like filtering your air and harvesting solar energy. Bro, I can go for days on this stuff.
Yeah, that's over.
It's over. Yeah. So enjoy episode 32 because probably got a couple more before AI replaces us.
Beautiful.
All right. Thanks for watching. Enjoy your trip. Have a safe trip.
Oh, thank you.
What's the drink you have to order?
Cala.
Yeah?
Cala.
You're there. AI ain't replacing you.
Take away.
Have a good trip.
Are we
going to do it next week or are we going to to be determined? Do you want to do one from the beach?
TBD?
Yeah.
Let's TBD it.
Yeah, okay. Cool. Maybe we'll be around next week. If not, we'll be back in 2 weeks.
That's right.
Chew.
Awesome.
Ciao. I said chew. Ciao.
Where's AI?
All right.
All right.
Thanks for listening to the Toronto Livings Real Estate Podcast. You could find more information on how we work over at torontolivings.com. Be sure to sign up for our newsletter to get price reports from over 150 different neighborhoods in the city each and every month.
If you got any value, please like, subscribe, and share with your friends. And if you made it this far, thanks for listening.